G'day everyone and welcome to my round 11 AFL fantasy wrap-up video. It was a surprisingly pretty decent round for my team this week. I ended up scoring 22.48, which saw me move up the rankings by around 1,000 spots for the second straight week, which was nice. And yeah, obviously I would like to be ranked much higher than where I am at around 3,500, but yeah, at least I'm starting to improve in ranking week by week now, which shows that my team is heading in the right direction. And yeah, I definitely had a bit of luck go my way though this round, with plenty of my premiums going big and my VC paying off as well. So yeah, not a bad round for me this week, and it definitely sets up my team nicely heading into the buys. So first I will look back at the trades that I made going into the round, and they were Taranto to Sinclair and Martin to Cameron, which turned out to pretty well this week. Obviously Nick Martin turned up this week, but I think bringing in Cameron benefits my team in the long term. And yeah, Sinclair was awesome this week, so that move definitely paid off there. So now I'll look back at the team starting in defence. Jack Crisp, 102. He hasn't gone below 100 since round 6, so yeah, he just continues to be rock solid at D1 for me. Sam Doherty, 114. This is exactly why I brought him in last week. He's just an absolute gun, Doherty, and yeah, he probably is a top 2 to 3 defender, and he's just so reliable and will just get the job done for you week in, week out. James Sicily, 86. A solid score once again from Sicily, so no dramas there. George Hewitt, 116. Again, he just gets it done every week at the moment, this man. Yeah, it's so lucky that we get to enjoy him as a defender this season. And yeah, just like Doherty, he's probably a top 2 to 3 defender as well, to be honest. Jack Sinclair, 133. Fair to say that I didn't bring him in expecting this kind of score every week, but I'll take it, that's for sure. What an absolute legend. And yeah, the Saints just love getting the ball into this guy's hands. And yeah, who knows, maybe he could push to be a top 6 defender as well. Daniel Rioli, 67. This was a frustrating one from Rioli, as he had a 55-point first half but only had 12 points in the second half, so it definitely could have been a much bigger score from him, which is, yeah, a little disappointing. Onto the bench now, Sam De Koning, 83. Enormous score from SDK. He just gets better and better every week, and yeah, he'll make plenty more cash for us over the buys now, which is nice. Buku Karmas, 50. Definitely saved his score from being disastrous in the last quarter, but yeah, hopefully he's done enough to hold his spot in that dog side. Onto the midfield now. Clayton Oliver, 107. He had a scintillating first half, but got tagged right out of the game in the second half. But yeah, still a nice score overall, and after his awesome last few weeks, I think we can definitely take this score from him this week. Andy Brayshaw, 94. He was actually one of the best players on the ground for Freo in that incredible win that they had over the D's, but he only played 69% time on ground, which happened last week as well, so I'm not too sure exactly what is going on there. So considering that, he couldn't have scored much more, to be honest. Lachie Neale, who I had the VC on this week and took his monster score of 143 as captain, and yeah, finally nailed a VC, which was nice, and it definitely set up the round for me. And yeah, Neale, what an absolute star he is. What a gun, Lachie Neale. Jack McRae, 107. He was okay without being amazing, and yeah, thankfully I was able to take Neale's score as my captain was going to be McRae, so yeah, definitely got a bit lucky there. Ben Keys, 104. It was nice to see him finally turn up again this week, Keys, so yeah, I'll take this score from him this week. Tom Green, 70. His scoring has really plummeted over the last month or so, unfortunately, but yeah, as he has that round 12 bye, we'll probably have to hold on to him for the next few weeks at least. Greg Clark, 62. He was okay, but he just isn't spending enough time playing as an inside mid, which was definitely impacting his scoring, and maybe we could look to move him on at his round 13 bye. Robbie McComb, 55, who I had to field him this week with Bailey Smith out, so that wasn't ideal, but yeah, 55 is not the worst score in the world, so I'll take that, I guess. And then onto the bench, we have Bailey Smith, who I held on to this week. Then we have Cooper Stevens, 49. 40 could have scored a bit more this week, so he was slightly disappointing, but Hopefully he still holds his spot, as definitely need him throughout the buys. Now onto the rucks. Max Gawn 104. Good to see him turn up again after a rough last few weeks. And then we have Hugh Dixon, who I used as the captain loophole this week. So in that position we had Sam Hayes, who had an absolute stinker, 34, and he spent the last 15 minutes of that game on the bench, so it just wasn't his night at all. And with Darcy Cameron getting ruck status, I'll definitely look to move him off my ground now. Onto the forwards now, and Josh Dunkley 139. He just absolutely feasted on the Eagles, and so did most of the Dogs boys in that game, to be honest. And plenty had him captain this week as well, so he definitely delivered, did Dunkley. Adam Treloar 129. Like Dunkley, he just had an absolute field day against the Eagles, and he's just absolutely flying at the moment, Treloar, and very happy owner here. Will Brodie 83. A solid enough score from Brodie, so nothing to worry about there. Stephen Cornelio 108. Back-to-back tons now for Cogs, which has been nice to see, and definitely a trade target after his buy for any of those who don't have him. Darcy Cameron, who I brought in this week, 94. He was good, and I'm glad that I brought him in, as now that he has that ruck status, he provides me with a lot of flexibility where I can now move him into the ruck. So that will prove to be definitely handy moving forward. Kadeen Coleman 54. He was a little disappointing. Would have liked a bit more from him after seeing how good he was last week, but he stays for me up until his buy at least. Onto the bench, Paddy McCartan 50. He was solid, but I'll look to move him on at his round 13 buy. Marcus Windhager 47. He is a nice player, this guy, but he just isn't a great fantasy scorer, so I'll look to probably cash him in at some stage over the next few weeks. I'll talk through my early trade plans for this week, and obviously with the buys here now, we get 3 trades to play with this week, so there's definitely plenty of options on the table for us to have a look at. So now we'll flick on the buy detector just to give you all a better look at how my team looks for round 12. So this is how my team shapes up at the moment, with all my round 12 players moved onto the bench. And as you can see, my team actually looks in pretty decent shape this week. I should be able to field around 20 to 21 players even before trades, which is nice. So my plans for this week at the moment are actually to make a triple downgrade this week to build a bank so that I can end up making some big upgrades once we get to round 13. So the reason behind that is basically if I was to make some upgrades this week, I would be bringing in someone who has a buy ahead of them, which just doesn't make a lot of sense for me. So what I want to do is downgrade some rookies this week, guys like Sam Hayes, Hugh Dixon, even Jackson Mead, those sort of guys who probably won't play this week, or 2 of them definitely won't play this week. And you look to bring in 3 rookies there, and then what that should do is give me around, who knows, around 300, 400k in the bank for next week. And then what I can do once we get into round 13 is then upgrade some rookies like Greg Clark, Paddy McCartan, even those sort of guys. I can get them up to premiums who have just come off their buys. So then I'll have a look at guys like Sam Walsh, Josh Kelly, those sort of types. So that's what I would recommend to many people out there, is you just be aware of making any upgrades this week, as you're basically bringing in someone who has a buy ahead of them. So just make sure obviously you're fielding the 18, and probably don't make too many big upgrades this week. So that's what I'm planning to do. A triple downgrade this week, and building a bank to make some big upgrades once we get to round 13. So there you have it. That's the video for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, it would be much appreciated if you could like, comment, subscribe. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have for me in the comments. Give a second opinion on any trade plans you have, as always. And by the way, feel free to check out the buy strategy video that I posted out in the middle of last week. So that will be very relevant as we head into the buys this week. So feel free to check that out. And thanks again for watching, guys, and good luck in round 12.